gorgeous. Okay. So what I was thinking you might like to begin with is a one blanket back bend with or without legs up the chair. Oh, my camera angle's not very good. Let me turn it a little bit this way. So what I've done here is I've taken a big thick blanket, folded it over. If you've got a blanket that's not so thick, then maybe have two on top of each other, or even some bed pillows on top of each other. And so I'll show you how to do this one blanket back bend without the chair and then with the chair, and you can decide which one suits you. And if you do want to use a chair, I suggest having a chair that has a blanket or something on it so it's padded. Alright, so I'm just going to leave the chair out for this one blanket back bend without the chair, and then I'll show you with as well. So when you're coming onto your blanket, what you want to aim to do is to bring the top of the blanket, to bring your shoulder blades, the bottom edge of your shoulder blades, just off that top edge. And it can take a little bit of trial and error to find the right place. It's usually that place just a little bit beneath your armpit. And you want to feel that your rib cage is lifting, and maybe a feeling of the rib cage widening as well, especially the lower ribs. And if you're doing the one blanket back bend without the chair, you might take your feet a bit wider and then bring your knees together. So it's like a pyramid shape with your legs, possibly popping a blanket over top there. If you prefer to do the version with your legs up on the chair, it's similar but different because you want to have your legs elevated. So you might notice I have this chair that has a space for my feet to go through. If your chair has more of a solid back, then turn your chair side on instead so that your feet can go across and through the space. And again, maybe a blanket. When I'm doing legs up the chair, or this legs up the chair with one blanket back bend, I like to have one blanket round my legs and maybe feet as well. And you could wrap it around like a burrito around your legs. And then I usually also have another blanket to go over my belly and my chest. Okay, so, and again, you want to check that the bottom edge of your shoulder blades are coming off that top edge of your blanket so that your shoulders can ease down towards the ground, and it's quite an opening feeling through the upper chest, maybe the rib cage as well. Feel free to cover over your eyes if you have an eye pillow or an eye cover, or maybe you're in a room where you can dim the lights. And you can let your eyes gently close. You could have your arms out to the sides. You can go as wide as you like with your arms, or it might just feel better to have your hands connecting to your body. Take all the time you need to get settled. So you're welcome to make some small movements. Maybe you're wriggling your toes or wriggling your fingers. Maybe your head is turning a little bit from one side to the other. You're welcome to make as many small movements as you need. Eventually you might find stillness. Although your body is never completely still, just finding relative stillness. And then once you have, you might take notice of how your body meets the surface beneath you. Noticing the effect of gravity on your body. Notice all those places where your body meets the surface beneath you, including the chair if you have your legs up on the chair. Letting your face be soft. Letting your jaw be loose. And feel a sense of smoothing across your forehead, almost as if any worries or any stress can simply smooth away. You might like to bring your attention to that point in between your eyebrows on the inside of your forehead. Noticing your breath. See if you can have your lips sealed. Breath traveling in through your nostrils. Breath traveling out of your nostrils. So I thought we might do some alternate nostril breathing here, but without using your hands. So a mental version of alternate nostril breathing. So be using your imagination, and we'll be mentally focusing on left nostril and then right nostril and then right nostril and then left nostril. So I'm going to guide you through. So when you're ready, and again, we're not using the hands this time, just mentally feel or imagine that you're breathing in through your right nostril, and then feel or imagine that you're breathing out through your left nostril. Now feel or imagine you're breathing in through the left. Feel or imagine you're breathing out through the right. Breathing in through the right nostril. Breathing out through the left nostril. Breathing in through the left nostril. Breathing out through the right nostril. Now, if that's feeling good and if it's making sense for you and you want to do a few more rounds, then please go ahead. Remember, you can let it go if it's not feeling that great. And you can just continue for as many more rounds as you want to do, And once you feel that that's complete, you can just simply let go of that practice. And once you have let go of that practice, you might still be going, but if whenever you are ready to let go of that practice, you could then focus on both nostrils together. Taking notice of how your breath is feeling now. Checking in with how your body is feeling now. Maybe checking in with how your mind is feeling now. And stepping right into this present moment, the only moment that we ever truly have. Right here, right now, this breath, this moment. So to come out of this restorative pose, and of course if you decide that you want to stay here for longer, you totally can. You might just decide you want to stay here for the whole session. But if you do want to start to make some movement, then maybe bending one knee, or if you have your legs up with the chair, I should say, bending one knee then the other. If you did the floor version of one blanket back bend, then you already have your knees bent. So if you had your legs up on the chair, bending both knees more, and then this goes for both. You can start to bring both knees towards your chest. And so you might like to hug the knees in a little bit closer. You might have your hands to your knees or the backs of your legs. Maybe just some really small circling movements here. You don't have to move very much, just fairly small, fairly slow. Circles one way and then circles the other. And then pause right at the middle. You might want to take the knees and feet slightly apart here. I'm going to invite you to have a wriggle through your toes. Wriggle, wriggle, wriggle through all your toes, and then you might want to do some ankle circles. Circling a few times one way, circling a few times the other way. And if you want to, you could also wriggle through your fingers and your thumbs, and then maybe some wrist circles. So you could do wrist circles and ankle circles all together if you like. You could keep changing direction if you like. Okay, and whenever you're ready, you might then roll yourself over, rolling to one side. So coming off your blanket, pausing on one side, maybe take a breath or two there. Maybe even keeping your eyes closed if you want to. And then noticing where your body is now, making that connection with the ground, that feeling of gravity. And you might decide to stay there for longer, or you could press one hand and then the other down to the floor, and from there gradually pressing yourself up to a seated position.